Hi everyone, I hope you guys are all doing very well. Just wanted to do a quick video live here from Star Wars Celebration Chicago, just to give a quick recap of what my brother and I have been doing on day 1 and day 2 of the celebration. So far we've been having just an incredible time. The thing is, I knew it was going to be crazy, but it is amazing of just how big the event is and just how much there is to do. It's really kind of a learning experience with our first celebration here. With that said, I am recording this on what is technically day 3, the Saturday, but I just want to recap day 1 and day 2 here. Day 1 was definitely much more eventful on a personal side of things. Day 2 was huge because of the episode 9 panel, but day 1 was pretty crazy. Let's get into it here. The funny thing is again, with our first celebration, I don't know exactly when the best time to arrive is. I heard arrive early. On day 1, we probably arrived a little bit too early, but nonetheless it worked out. They didn't open the exhibit hall until 1 p.m. My brother and I thought it was a good idea to get there at 10 a.m. So we had, right off the bat, a 3-hour wait before we could get into celebration. But the reason why we wanted to get there so early is because we had our mission, which was to meet Timothy Zahn. He had his first signing at 2 p.m. So we got right in. It was a tough decision though too, because there is a celebration exclusive novel here, which is the Claudia Gray Master and Apprentice. We chose not to get the wristbands to kind of get in line and have our chance to get the exclusive novel. Maybe a bad idea, but we had to take our chance to meet Timothy Zahn, and that's what we did first. So pretty unsurprisingly, the very first thing we did at Celebration was we hit the bookstore. Basically the rule was, if you wanted to get an author signature, you had to buy one of their books from the bookstore. We thought that we'd go ahead. I think I ended up getting something crazy like nine books, a couple of hardcovers that I didn't have, and a couple of paperbacks that I don't think I had all of them, but we ended up getting in line. We were one of the first 10. The Timothy Zahn line was by far the longest out of any author, and luckily we were right up at the front. Again, probably the first 10, and as you can see in the footage, I finally got the opportunity to meet the legend himself. Timothy Zahn, it was so funny. We were a little bit nervous because we had so many books. We didn't know if we maybe had to pick a couple of them. He ended up signing everything. He was extremely accommodating. And not only did we get books signed, but I lucked out and somebody handed me a Thrawn poster as I was waiting in line. And I thought that it would be a good idea. He was, again, really accommodating. He signed it for Star Wars Reading Club, and I had asked if he could put in the "if not for me" ending, and he did it without question. Again, huge tip of the hat to Timothy Zahn. This was probably our big win so far. A ton of novels signed by him, and then also with that poster, it was just an incredible experience to meet, again, like I said, the legend himself. I did get a chance too to shake his hand and just thank him for all the inspiration, so that was very cool. We probably had about 30 minutes before we needed to get in line to meet Claudia Gray and get a couple of books signed by her as well. Now the funny thing is too, I should just mention, my brother, again, of course, if you know, if you've seen some of the live streams or just kind of heard me talk about him before, he's into Star Wars, but not on our level. He hasn't read any of the novels, so I'm sort of trying to pawn off as many novels on him, so the like 8 or 5 books that we have for each author isn't just all from me. So he's completely worried the entire time about the author asking him about the books, and I'm trying to give him a couple of questions and pointers that he can point out to the author. But still, even on my end, I'm trying to think of something interesting that I could ask each author. For Timothy Zahn, there really wasn't enough time because the line was so long, but for Claudia Gray, and as you'll see upcoming here too as well, E.K. Johnston, I had to think of something. For Claudia Gray, the funny story, well, not a story, but what I really wanted to ask her was something about Lost Stars 2. So I told my brother, okay, I'm going to ask her, so when is Lost Stars 2 coming out? And the guy in front of me, he had to have heard me, or maybe it was just a coincidence that happens at these celebrations, but right when we're next in line to get Claudia Gray to sign our books, he goes ahead and asks her about Lost Stars 2, and completely throws me off my game as I'm going to meet Claudia Gray. But nonetheless, I asked it anyway. Her answer was actually really interesting. She had kind of pointed out that Lost Stars was a story that bounced off all these different events from the universe. If you read Lost Stars, then you definitely know what she was talking about. So she said that perhaps maybe they'll let the canon expand a little bit more, and then at that point we could get Lost Stars 2. I don't think you need to do it again in the same way, but nonetheless, I thought that that was really cool. Again, just like Timothy Zahn, she was really nice. They give you like 30 seconds to a minute just to kind of converse with them and ask them questions about the book, which is really cool. But again, Claudia Gray, really nice, and it was great to meet her and have so many books now signed by her as well. So literally after we meet Claudia Gray, I think we have 15 minutes maybe to run back over where we met Timothy Zahn, and this time we're going to meet E.K. Johnston. Again, of course, you know E.K. Johnston. She wrote Ahsoka. She also wrote Queen Shadow, which was a pretty big book at this convention. Queen Shadow had an exclusive cover, which she was signing, which was really cool. Again, same thing. This time we're a little bit further back in line, so we probably waited for a good 45 minutes. But nonetheless, still talked to her for about 90 seconds. I'd have to watch the footage over again. Again, when you're up there, you kind of just say what comes off, like what you think of. First, I think I talked to her about Charles Soule, and then also a little bit about the upcoming Queen Shadow. But again, same thing with Claudia Gray. E.K. Johnston, really cool, really nice. Had no problem signing 4 books at the celebration, so that was really cool. And basically, after we met her, that was the 6 hours or so that we were in celebration. So it doesn't seem like you're doing much because a lot of it is in lines, but again, it was a pretty eventful first day. We got to meet Timothy Zahn, we got to meet Claudia Gray, and then also E.K. Johnston, which was just really cool. It was kind of, I mean, it was pretty fitting. Like I said, going in, we wanted to do most stuff surrounding the authors, even if it came to panels. But it really was sort of an eye-opener to see just how much time you spend in lines trying to get the books and then get the books signed. But nonetheless, just an awesome first day between those 3 authors and however many books. I'll have to do a complete haul at the end, but so many novels now to add to the collection. So that was day 1. So funny enough, day 2 starts pretty much exactly like day 1 did, except instead of starting at 1 p.m, it started earlier at 11 a.m. But other than that, the weather was the exact same. We passed the Wintrust Arena again, but this time there was already a long line that started for the episode 9 panel. So I will just mention, we didn't win the lottery for the episode 9 panel, but I did win the lottery for the Mandalorian panel, which is on day 4. And then also I'm in the overflow room for the Phantom Menace panel. So we'll be at those ones later in the week. But the episode 9 one, we could only pass it, and we got in line. I thought that we were going to be fairly late. For it opening up at 10 a.m. is when the exhibition floor, all the booths were open. I thought that we were late. We got there at 9:30, I want to say. And we didn't do too badly. But we did have our first major loss of the weekend, which was by the time we got to, I think it was the Del Rey booth, they had already sold out of all of their wristbands for, again, just mentioning the Master and Apprentice exclusive cover for this celebration. So major loss. I don't know what we're going to do. At this point, it doesn't look good because we're at the Mandalorian panel. We're not going to be able to line up for a wristband. We have to make our way over there at the start. So Monday might be our last day. Fingers crossed. Hopefully we can get that exclusive novel. But since we were in lines pretty much all day the day before, again, for each author, we were probably in line for at least an hour. We decided that we'd spend just the first hour before the episode 9 panel started. We just wanted to walk around, see all the booths. Again, I'll throw some footage in here. Again, as you could imagine, there's just endless things to buy and see. Action figures, art. Again, there's just a lot of really cool stuff. I've bought a lot of books at this point. I'm still trying to find the time to buy, I think it's the FX lightsaber. So I want a lightsaber, and I wouldn't mind checking out some of the art either, because there's a lot of cool, posters and even paintings. I'm not sure exactly what's available, but even if I could get a couple of the posters, I think it would be really cool. Now I will mention as well, I am looking for pretty much anything Thrawn, but at this point, there doesn't seem like there's all that much Thrawn, and the stuff that there is, it's either double the price. Literally, for example, the Black Series Thrawn, everything is 20, or just for the Black Series action figures, everything's 20 bucks, but then the Thrawn will be 40. So it's either double the price, which, I mean, I'm not too concerned about, since, you know, you might expect something like that at a celebration, or people just aren't willing to give it up, like, for example, the exclusive pin that I think came with Celebration. So I'm doing my best. Hopefully I can at least find a shirt of Thrawn, but it's been fairly tough with these first 2 days. But after about an hour of walking around and just checking everything that we missed from day 1, that is when the episode 9 panel started, and thankfully, I mean, I was fairly confident that they were going to do this, but they did live stream it into the exhibit hall, so we were able to get a fairly decent position to be able to see it on the screen. I recorded a lot of it. Again, I'll throw some of the footage in here, but it was a great feeling as we were watching it. I could only imagine what it was in the actual arena, but the energy was really high even in the exhibit. Again, we were there for the entire thing. Again, saw J.J. Abrams come out with Kathleen Kennedy, of course Anthony Daniels and Billy D. Williams, the main cast. But by the end, I'm getting concerned about, well, what exactly is this big reveal gonna be? I was confident that we were gonna at least get the name reveal, but as time went on, I mean, as we're getting into an hour of the panel, I was thinking to myself, we have to get some sort of a trailer, and thankfully, J.J. Abrams did say something to the effect of, okay, who wants to see a teaser trailer now at this point? So I'll put the footage in again. It was really cool. There was a lot of, I'll say this, the two biggest sort of reactions that the trailer got, it was definitely the Sidious laugh at the end, and also the name reveal of the Rise of Skywalker. But it was great to watch it finally with other fans. But after that, I had to do a video on it. I couldn't just sort of let the day go by without doing some sort of a video on the episode 9 panel. So what I did is my brother and I, we went back to the hotel. I did that for about 2 to 3 hours, maybe not even that long. But even by the time that went by, we're looking at the later half of the day. So we got the video up, and at that point we didn't really know what to do because we did miss some of the panels that I was looking out for on day 2, which was, I believe, the Timothy Zahn author spotlight, and I think there was also a Lucas publishing. There was a publishing panel as well that I would have went to, but at that point there was only a few more hours left in the day. We thought that we would just go back, maybe that was the time to buy the lightsaber, but we actually lucked out, I would say, in these last few hours. In the first way, and again, I don't know exactly, this might have all been planned and maybe I just wasn't aware of what was going on enough, but we were fortunate enough that the main cast did come out on the main stage in the exhibit floor. So we got to see, again, this was the first time I got to see Daisy Ridley, John Boyega, and who else did we see? Oh, we saw Oscar Isaac and Naomi Ackie. So there was all, I believe JJ came out at one point as well, and a couple other of the actresses and actors from the film. But that was really cool. Again, I would have to say they were all really funny, but Oscar Isaac is a really great character, just the way that he did the fan interactions. And the second way that we lucked out is I didn't know that there was too many more author signings on day 2. Again, we had done so much on day 1 and we had so much still planned for the Sunday and Monday, but there was an Amy Ratcliffe signing. I ended up grabbing one of her books, and her line, by the time we got there was only, I want to say, like 6 people in front of us, and we were one of the very last ones. Unfortunately, I didn't have my camera, so I didn't get any footage of it, but I ended up talking with Amy for, like, I want to say 2 minutes, and we talked about everything from, you know, the episode 9 title reveal to a potential Sidious connection with the World Between Worlds. I probably had to throw a bit of cold water on that one myself. We talked a lot about Ahsoka, just things like that. And again, it was a good way to wrap up day 2, because again, the authors have been so cool at this point. Not just in, you know, signing and of course things like that, but again, they really give you a lot of time to just discuss the novels and Star Wars in general. So Amy Ratcliffe, getting her signature was the way that we ended day 2. And I will say, it doesn't seem like you get a lot in, but time goes by so fast that you lose track of it throughout the day. You know, you spend an hour in line here, you check this out for 30 minutes, and before you know it, half the day is gone. And then you're, you know, maybe trying to figure out what sort of panels or autographs you can sneak in before the end of the day. But I think at this point, with day 1 and day 2 done now, I think I figured it out enough to hopefully get our Sunday and Monday pretty full, and to do a bunch of fun things that we weren't able to do on day 1 and day 2. Sunday is going to be by far our busiest day. We have the Mandalorian panel in the morning, ton more of autographs, and also some meetings that I'm planning to do. But there's still one more mission, and again, I'm not talking about the Thrawn and the lightsaber at this point. We have one more mission ahead of us, which is to get the Master and Apprentice exclusive from the new novel by Claudia Gray. Again, I'm sort of relegating myself to the fact that I might not be able to get it because those wristbands go so quickly in the morning. But if I was to do anything over the next 2 days, that's probably mission number 1, and hopefully we can pull it off. When I get back after the end of the weekend, I'll do a full haul. I'll show you guys all the books that we got and all the signatures. It's pretty, I'd even have to say at this point, even for the collection that I already have, it's pretty impressive at this point, especially with all the Timothy Zahn books. We'll wrap up the last 2 days, again the Sunday and the Monday, and then we'll head back home and get back to our regular schedule. It's been a really, again, I knew it was going to be fun. I knew it was going to be not overwhelming, but just in the sense that there's so much to do. But it's also been an incredibly inspiring weekend as well. I'll get into more of that later and potentially after the weekend, but it's insane. Again, I can't thank you guys enough for all the support. Hopefully you enjoyed this day 1 and day 2 breakdown. I'll plan to do another one for our Sunday and Monday. But again, thanks so much for watching, guys. There's still a lot more news coming out. The Mandalorian panel is going to be a lot of fun, so I hope that I can cover it halfway decently. It is hard as we're here, but when I get back, we'll have to make sure that we hit all the news and all the reveals. I very, very much appreciate all your support, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Have a really good day, guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye, everyone.